The book I'm sharing today is a collection of poetry. It's called The Virginia State Colony for Epileptics and Feebleminded. It's by Molly McCully Brown. So this collection is really fascinating because it actually is a bunch of poems that are inspired by a real place, which was a home for the mentally ill. The home for the mentally ill that's being talked about in Virginia was built in like the early 1900s. And then the author today, her very first poem in the collection is about driving past this place as a young person growing up and thinking, I could have been one of the people there. Like, if this had been in existence this day and age, I would have been put in there. So it's really, really fascinating because she then takes us back to like about 1930s and imagines a whole world that's happening inside this place. So the poems are divided at first by like the season. So it's like spring 1935, winter 1936, that kind of thing. But she looks at different aspects of life there. So she has one series of poems that takes place in looking at the what they called the blind room, but it was like the solitary confinement. She has others just like reflecting like on their inner life. One of the things that's cool is she has made these like almost like charge sheets, because one of the things that happened there was forced sterilization of the women who lived at these mental asylums. So that part is super interesting, just kind of this imagined world of what it must have been like to be there. One of the poems is called Transubstantiation. It's the middle of the night, and I'm a little loose on beer and blues and battered air, and all the ways this nowhere looks like home. The fields and boarded houses dead with summer, the filling station rowdy with the rumor of another place. Cattle pace the distance between road and gloaming, inexplicably awake. And then the bathtubs littered in the pasture, for sale or salvage, or some secret labor stranger than I know. How does it work again, the alchemy that shapes them briefly into boats, and then the bones of great-felled beasts, and once more into keening copper bells before I even blink? Half a mile out, the city builds back up along the margin, country songs cut in and out of the static on the radio. Lord, most of what I love mistakes itself for nothing. So just one poem of an amazing collection, just an interesting premise, and I think it's definitely worth picking up. So give the Virginia State Colony for Epileptics and Feebleminded a try.